Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of RuneNews. It's your boy, Ryan. I hope you're all doing well and receiving some juicy purple drops this week. In this week's update, we'll be discussing some big changes to Theatre of Blood that makes Oldschool Runescape's #1 raid just that much better. However, before we start, I have one question to ask you all, and if you could please leave your answer in the comment section down below, that'd be amazing. Hit the like and subscribe button while you're down there. My question today is, which raid is your favorite? Tunes of a Massacre, Theatre of Blood, Chambers of Xeric. Which raid is your favorite and why? If you don't raid yet, why aren't you raiding? What's wrong with you? Leave your answer in the comment section down below, and notice the new merch is available in the description. We've got two different links. Mouse pads are back on the market. We're doing mouse pads and desk mats again, as well as hats and a bunch of shirts as well. We've got two links to TeePublic and Redbubble down below. So make sure you check out both the links if you're interested in some merch. My name is Ryan. We're going to get into the Oldschool Runescape news. So sit back, relax, strap in, and strap on. So about this time next Tuesday, guys, there's about an hour and a half of downtime happening so they can help progress the Jagex accounts beta. So just be aware of that next week. Don't start shitting the bed and abusing JMods on Twitter because you can't log in for an hour and a half. Go touch grass, have a shower, and get over it. Alright, so what do we have here? We've got improvements to entry mode. First of all, hit point scaling. This is essentially making entry mode a lot easier. It's kind of aligning it with the ease of Tunes of a Massacre, because TOA is so easy to raid when you're learning and getting into it. Now, Theatre of Blood is having the same aspect, because solo was already super easy, so they're unchanging it, but they're actually making it in teams a lot easier, because these margins are actually a lot smaller for how much more hit points are being added to the monsters as you go through them. I think overall in a 5-man team, there's about 100% less hit points on the 5-man team, I believe. Yeah, it's a 300% hit point increase instead of a 400% hit point increase. So the bosses and the raid overall for story mode Theatre of Blood is a lot easier in teams. You've also got a number of attempts which I believe are now unlimited, just like Tunes of a Massacre, so you can keep dying and trying, which makes the quest also a lot easier. And this also, I'm a big fan of this update because it breaks into the black market of people trying to pay or take money from learners for Theatre of Blood, which I think is a scummy thing to do. The raid isn't that difficult, so big fan of this update. Supplies on wipes. You also now, if you wipe in TOB, it's just like TOA, you get supplies. So that way the raid gets easy. You don't get to the end of P3, wipe, and you got no inventory. Now what? You get supplies so you can keep going and you can go again. And previously it was 100k to reclaim your stuff for Theatre of Blood. So now there's, the cost has been removed completely for entry mode. So there's no wiping. There's no cost for wiping in TOB. You can send TOB as much as you want until you learn the mechanics, which is also huge for experienced players who want to learn solos or who want to practice scythe walking or practice doing melee and Zarpus, things like that. You can now practice for free without hesitation in entry mode Theatre of Blood. So this is a big update all around for the raid, making the raid much more engaging and much better for all players involved. Now, the high-level community is probably going to get upset at me for praising this and saying that Theatre of Blood is getting a huge update. They're making big changes to the raid, but this is really big and it's good for the game. If you have a problem with this update, it's mostly because you're upset that it's cutting into your market or your ability to shit on kids because you have more experience in a raid than them. And for that, and honestly, if you're that sort of person, you're a piece of shit. So, huge update. Big fan of this update. First time user flow. This is essentially going to make the raid a lot more smooth and better to learn, which I think is a massive W, because that's the main problem with TOB. The main problem is the black market and the gatekeeping, which is slowly but surely being, dismantled, deconstructed around the learning, the raid learning side of the community. Sorry, my bad. Reward quantities. We've received the amount. Sorry, we've increased the amount of normal rewards. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I didn't even know this was in here. They've increased the amount of normal rewards on entry mode from 15 to 20% so that the players can earn enough money to cover the supplies. Oh, okay. So you're actually going to earn about 5% more rewards as well. Normally it'd be 15% of what a normal Theatre of Blood raid would give you. Now you're getting 20%. So you're getting a little bit more money, which is good, especially for like Iron Man trying to get some vials of blood early for Bastion potions. So another big part of the update. I'm a big fan of this update. I think Jagex has done a good job. I wish they did this earlier because it would have really helped the raid and it would have helped the PVM player base more, because a lot of people are scared of raiding or just haven't done top, TOA kind of helped bridge that gap, but this is really going to be the final nail in the coffin to help push people to do Theatre of Blood who just aren't ready. Now you are. Pulse 78 changes. Zamorak wines are now 100% at level 98 instead of 69%. While that is a nice number, you're not going to fail Zamorak wines anymore, which is good, especially since my team has already pretty much done what they need to do with Zamorak wines. So thank you for doing that update after everything is done. Something to do with chests in the player in house. I don't know what this is, so I'm not going to talk about it because I don't have a fucking clue. And also Poro, if you're pushing through the wheat and you know you're doing all the jiggle thing through the wheat, and the higher the strength level you have, the faster you go through the wheat, and you also get strength XP. Now you will automatically not be getting strength XP, and you have to go and turn it on by talking to some fuckface known as Elnock Inquisitor. Talk to him, you'll get strength XP again. That way, all these snowflake accounts don't have to get upset because they're gaining strength XP, because but they choose to make snowflake accounts and then choose to not take responsibility for making mistakes when they're not monitoring or looking after their account properly. So for some reason, that's our problem, but it doesn't actually really matter. It's not that big of an update. Combat achievements for Phantom Musbar means I've got to go get my helmets again, which is good. So I'm keen to do these combat tasks. They do look good and they look pretty easy as well. I forgot you can get this boss and the Slayer task. These times are pretty easy to get. Some of the tasks for Master and Grandmaster look a bit spicy, but overall, I can definitely smash these out. Looking forward to doing those, which I will be doing these on stream. You'll probably catch me in about 12 hours time after this release doing this content. If not, sometime later in the week, I'll be streaming it right here on this channel. So subscribe down below so you don't miss a fucking live stream here on YouTube. King Condor, don't forget it. Other changes, actually there's something in here which I think is amazing. Right, where is it? Right here. Having a Slayer task streak of 16,000 no longer means you will get the max amount of Slayer points for every task you complete. You'll still get bonus points at regular intervals as if you didn't have a ludicrous streak count. So basically, what was happening is someone had 16,000 Slayer tasks and it was stopping there. So every time they did a Slayer task, they were getting points as if they were completing their 1,000 Slayer task over and over and over again. And obviously that's a ridiculous amount of GP per hour through broad bolts. So yeah, big no-no. Someone was, I bet, making fucking bank. But that's now been fixed. Crack the Clue 3 works are still shitting on the community because everyone's garbage. And LMS is no longer on the Oz. Damn it. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, man. I'm so addicted to LMS. Now I've got to wait a week until I can go back. Wait. World 390 has been activated for this road. Wait, hold on. Oh, no, it's staying? I hope that's not a typo, but it probably is a typo. I love LMS. It's so good. But without further ado, excuse me. I'm gonna give you a quick Grand Exchange update after first the RS3 news. I want to die. RuneScape 3. It's fucking dog shit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Grand Exchange segment of RuneNews. It's your boy, Wade Green, and this week for the biggest rise, we have the Venator Shard. Not 100% sure why this item's rising, but it seems to be a pretty steady flow, so that's actually not too bad. I've got 4 items going there. Now with the Phantom Musbar, what's it called? The combat achievements coming out, it actually does make sense. This might come up a tiny bit because the shard might be farmed a little bit more. And people might be looking for a little bit more money out of it because you know that those Grand Exchange flippers are going to think exactly what you're thinking and counteract on that. So be prepared to lose a bit of money if you're going to try flipping this because you can't stay ahead of the game. However, don't be afraid to use the bow because the Venator bow is actually pretty fun. I haven't used it myself, but I've seen people using it. I go, damn, I wish I had one of those. Too bad I can't get a fucking drop to save my life. Next up, we got the Accursed Scepter AU for Australia. Don't know why it's dropping. I think it's a bit of an underwhelming scepter because people don't really fully utilize its potential. I think it could have more potential if it had, I don't know if it's got auto casting, I'm not sure. But I think outside of the wilderness is actually really top tier because I believe you can use it outside of the wilderness without using any charges and it's got a max hit of like 29, which means you can use it for like a Kraken task and it costs you nothing. Instead of using a Sang Staff and draining blood runes or a Trident and having to charge it, this costs you nothing. You can just send it at the Kraken for the entire task. Cost you nothing to use. Just think about it next time you have yourself a scepter. Now, the gold necklace is one of the most traded items in the game, and I honestly have no fucking clue why. So, the reason I'm bringing this up today is I want you to, in the comment section, if someone can explain to me why gold necklaces are being traded, please let me know. It's one of the most traded items in the game at the moment. Over the past week, it's ridiculous. What's been happening? Am I missing something? Please. And then, of course, the mole slippers have dipped. Now, this is because there's a lot of delusional people in the community that think Jad slippers with socks that go up and look kind of ugly, or Bob the cat slippers, whatever they are better than mole slippers. A bunch of dickheads. Everyone's going, oh, free slippers. All of a sudden, because they're free, they're better, which is wrong, which is why they're dropping in price, which is good, because that means we can buy more slippers for a cheaper price before they spike back up. So all the dickheads who are losing faith in slippers because they just got a free pair of Jad slippers that everyone else has, that they can't trade and make money off of, means that these are now worth less, which means it's a good time for you to buy more, because that means next week this price is going to spike a little bit further up, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you tell your friends too. Mole slippers are down, which means now is the time to buy it, because when they go up, you're making a profit. You want to be as high up the fucking hierarchy as you can. I'll be at the top of the pyramid. You're going to be slowly down here. Your friends are going to be down here. Their friends are down here. You want to make sure you're not down here. You want to be ahead of the game. Be as close to me as possible. Grab yourself some mole slippers today and tell your friends. It's not a Ponzi scheme. I promise you, I'm not doing a pump and dump. This isn't a thing, okay? We're just trying to make a bit of money and flip an investment on mole slippers. So grab yourself some mole slippers today. Stop being a fucking pussy. And that is the end of the Grand Exchange update. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be a shit cunt, my mate. My name is Way Green, and my main is Way Green. And I'm a cat. Our first Iron Man moment this week comes from a non-Iron Man user who got the Tumigan Shadow. I believe this was a solo in about 300 KC, and he made sure to let me know that he was thanking me for my guide to help him getting this shadow. His name is NBA Bilbo. So I just want to give him a quick shout out for the Tumigan Shadow. I appreciate you acknowledging that and saying, and at least making me feel like it was somewhat my responsibility that you got the shadow. So I'll happily accept a 50% split of the shadow whenever you're ready. Just email me down below at RuneNews420@hotmail.com. Thank you, appreciate it, Bilbo. Good job on the shadow. Now, some other dingbat also got a shadow, I believe solo to 150 invocation rate. I can't remember the name, but they definitely got a shadow. There it is, right there, and it's in the chat box. You can just trust me right there. So GZ to whoever that was with the shadow. I'll also take a 50% split when you can at RuneNews420@hotmail.com. Thank you. And finally, our last Iron Man moment for the week goes to Beans. Chloe Media 69, I believe her in-game name is, for getting the Scotizo Slayer helmet. The Canelo Mexican boxer jaw Slayer helmet that we've got here. Looks very good. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Beans. She's one of my girls. And yeah, she said it wasn't a big deal, but I think it is. So GZ to Beans. And on that positive note, I'll be wrapping up Rune News here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan. My name is King Condor, and I approve this message. I'll see you all next week for Rune News, and I'll have a boss guide or two out in about a week's time. So, well, a day's time. Look after yourselves. Don't be shit. And I'll see you in the live streams. Now, fuck off. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.